right? Let's hit on creating a new project. Let's choose empty activity, hit next. Let us call the application as job scheduler. Make sure that this is created inside batch 15 folder. Nice. API, you can choose it to 23. That is Marshmallow. And you'll be targeting 97.2% of active devices. Nice. Hit on finish so that the project will be created. See, here it is. Okay, Sarfaraj Khan just messaged something. Attempt to invoke virtual method void android.widget.imageview.set image resource on null object reference. Okay. See, the error says that the image view is not initialized. Okay. Make sure you are initializing the image view. Then this error will be fixed. Sarfraz Khan. Yeah. You're welcome. So I'm going to pick up a very small example. Okay. So the project is created. You can see that here, right? So I have updated my Android Studio as I was telling you from the past couple of days. You can see that the compile SDK and target SDK is changed to 33. I updated my Android Studio to Electric Eel, which is the latest edition or latest release. Nice. So what is the plan? So the plan is to um, schedule a job. So what I'll do, I'll go to activity underscore main.xml. I will have a button in place. Drag and drop a button. Top to the top, left to the left, right to the right, and bottom to the bottom of the screen. Now this button is there, na? You can actually change this to schedule a job. Okay. If you jump into the split, you see that there is schedule a job method. You can provide an on-click event handler. I'll call the method as schedule job, and you know how to create it. Very easy, right? So in the latest edition, you are also getting the usages. So there are two usages found. One is in main, one is in activity underscore main, and the other is in manifest file. One usage is found on the XML file. If you tap on the usage, you get to see where it is exactly being called. Maybe one additional advantage we get it out from Electric Eel. Right. So first of all, let us define the exact job that we want to do. Okay. As we know, okay, there are three important components of job scheduler. One is job service. So this is the place where you'll define all the tasks. And the other is job info, where you'll define the conditions. And then the job scheduler, which is a system service. This is where we define the task. Okay. And job info is where we set the conditions. And only upon meeting these conditions, your job will execute. And the job scheduler is responsible for scheduling of tasks. Okay, these three are important: job service, job info, and job scheduler. Nice. So let us first define the task. A where okay. So okay, in the service it might be present. No. So you can simply go to new, hit on a Java class. Let's call it my job service. Remember, your my job service should be extending to uh, job service class. So extends job, sorry, job service. And you get to see you have to implement two methods: on start job and on stop job. So both these methods runs on main thread. On start job returns false if the task is completed. On stop job returns false if the task need not to be rescheduled. Okay. So here in the on start job, whatever the task that we need to do, we need to define the task. If the task is long running, you should be calling a worker thread from here. If the task is too small, like showing a toast message, job performed. So this can be executed on anywhere. So you can keep this written statement to false. Again, I'm writing it here. False when job done. True when job is offloaded or when job is given to worker thread. Right? Similar is the case with on stop job. Okay. So this method helps you. This method helps you uh, abort a job while it's running. Okay. So we have a simple task of showing a toast message. What if you have a big task like doing the network request. In that case, you can have an async task or an executor in place, and that can perform the task, like that can take up the task and perform it, right? I recommend you to use executor than async task, but async task you need to have the concept in mind so that the picture will be clear for you. So did you try using executors? Guys, have you been practicing the executors, async task, and other important concepts that I have told you? Are you practicing them? Otherwise, just listening to this will not help you a lot. Will not help you a lot, right? Just keep it in mind, okay? If not today, tomorrow you can practice. That's fine. But but please keep your targets fixed, right? So we are done with essentially we are done with job service. We'll jump in onto main activity. Now that we have job service defined, so this is defined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a job scheduler object. Scheduler. I'm also going to create a job info object. Info, right? So what am I going to do with this? In the onCreate method itself, first of all, I'd like to initialize scheduler. So this is a system service, and the service name is job scheduler service. From alarm manager is a system service. Notification is a system service. Job scheduler is a system service. You need to task this object that is returned by get system service to scheduler. Now we'll define the info. Info is equal to new job info dot builder. You pass the job ID. Job ID can be any unique integer. And then now you are going to write new component name where you will be writing this and oh shit, where is it? Okay. It is created in the wrong folder. I'm sorry. Right. Hmm. My job service dot s dot get name. Hey, even then there is an error. Why? Okay. So we have to set up the things right. So call build method, and in between the build and builder, you can set any number of conditions as you wish to. But to make these things clear for you, I'm only using one condition. Set required network type to network type any. Network type any. What happened? Okay, no problem. Job info dot network type any. What? Okay, set required network type. Sorry, I wrote the method as wrong. That is why we got an error. So I want to perform or I want to show the toast message only when there is a required network type of any network. So any network availability would let me do this task. Okay, easy thing. Now finally, what you need to do, you just have to call scheduler dot schedule and pass the job info object. We are done. However, for job scheduler, there is one more forget this service inside the Android manifest.xml. Okay. You must be registering the service inside the Android manifest.xml. For that, you'll open manifest and in the application tag, you can write a service tag. The class name can be set to my job service and the permission Android.permission can be set to Android.permission.bind job service. Guys, this needs to be remembered. This needs to be memorized because you will not get it in the suggestions. Okay, Android.permission.bind job service is something that you need to remember, and you need to give it under the permissions. Just like your activities, service is also got registered. That is nice. So now you can aram se run the application if your device is connected. So here we are going to perform a task only when there is internet connection of any network type. Otherwise, we will not perform the task. Right. So the device is connected. I can see I can run the application right away on this. Okay, right. So the app is up and running. Now, as there is internet connection, if I click on schedule a job, you can see that the job performed message is coming up. What if I do not have internet connectivity? If I schedule a job, nothing will come up. But if I turn it on and wait for some time till the Wi-Fi gets connected, I will get job performed right away without me clicking on the button. Because the job scheduled is waiting in the background for the internet to be connected so that it can be performed. The job can be performed. So don't you see it useful? Because there are a few tasks that you might want to do, and they require some efficient resources in the system, such as device and charging state, internet connectivity. The network type also you can measure. So network type any will consider Wi-Fi and mobile data. If the network type is unmetered, it is only corresponding to Wi-Fi. So for your task to be done, you should be connected to a unmetered network, let us say. In that case, you will be connecting to, you will be using network type unmetered. Okay, so that task will not be done even if there is internet connectivity through mobile phone or SIM card. Okay, so this is the most intelligent scheduling algorithms so far, right? Yeah. So the next topic is services, right? So what are services? So to learn more about services, type services Android. Even if the spellings are wrong, you will get the right documentation. Right. Can copy the link and I'm pasting the link here. Right. So a service is an application component that can perform long running operations in the background. It does not provide a user interface. Please underline this point. Any service that you might be using, it will not provide a user interface. Right? So you can start a service, and once they start, they might continue running for some time, even after the user switches to another application. And additionally, a component can bind to a service, and they are called bound services, through which we can perform inter-process communication. Right. Coming to the types of services, there are three types of services, I would say: foreground services, background services, and bound services. None of them provides the UI. Foreground services should throw a notification to the user. That is why they will usually use notification for that. For example, when you're using music player app, Spotify, Wink, Savan, there are many other music player applications around, isn't it? When you're using music player applications, though the music is played in the background, you will be notified through a notification. So you'll get a media player notification in the notification drawer. You'll use it like to change the track, pause the song, and play it back. You cannot remove you cannot delete the notification when when the service is running, right? Such kind of services that notify the user are called foreground services. And to start a foreground service, we use uh, start foreground service method. Okay. Background service performs an operation that is not directly noticed by the user. Okay. For example, if an app used a service to compact its storage, that would usually be a background service. And bound services, as I told you earlier, they are helpful for doing inter-process communication, IPC. So the client server model, as you will have iBinder interface, through that iBinder interface, you can bound to a certain component and share information to that. For example, a button is a component through which you want to register or you want to communicate. Let us suppose. From the service, you will pass information to the button. I'm just taking it as an example. We don't usually do it that way. I'm just telling you how inter-process communication works. Okay. So when there is a certain kind of uh, data that arrives or certain kind of event that is happening, if you want to notify it, you can notify it. So this bound services works in client server model, right? So for this, we use iBinder interface. There is an interface that comes by default, and that is called iBinder interface. And for using this bound services, we have to call bind service method. For foreground services, we use start foreground service method. For background services, we use start service method. And for bound services, we use bind service method. So all these methods, they work the same way. Like all these methods have a life cycle. I'll show you the life cycle in a short span of time. Yeah, this is the life cycle. So the life cycle of a normal service, let it be a foreground service or a background service, it is as shown on the left hand side. But for a bound service, we have a few additional things to do. As we want to do IPC, inter-process communication. Okay. So basically, when a service is started, the first method that gets encountered is onCreate method. Okay. So this onCreate method is responsible for creating a service, right? Creating a service and running it properly. Then comes the onStart command, which puts the service into running state, right? Which puts the service into running state. Finally, before the service is shut down, you will be encountering onDestroy method. However, you can stop the service, you can stop any service that is running by calling stop service method, or the service itself can get it aborted. The service itself can terminate it by calling self-stop method. Underline this point. By calling self-stop method, the service can stop itself, or you can stop the service by calling stop service method. Right? Please to remember this point. This is going to be useful. When it comes to bound services, as it has to perform inter-process communication, whatever the service is there, you can register to that service through iBinder interface by calling onBind method. And this service can only be destroyed when all of the clients are unbound or unregistered. Let us say 10-15 components registered to this service so that to get information from another process. Right? This service can only be deleted or this service can only be aborted when all the components unbind themselves. Once they are unbind, the destruction of the service is as similar as that of a normal service. So for a normal service, we call self-stop to stop the service, or stop service explicitly to stop the service. But for bound services, you're supposed to call unbind service method on all the clients. Only then it can be deleted. That's the only difference we have. And you have this entire documentation to go through. Right? This is really a big documentation, I would say. However, it will really help you out when you want to make use of services. So I'm just writing these notes to keep it handy for you. Okay. Now I'm jumping in on to creating and application here. Let's create a sample music player app to just understand how services work. Music player, batch 15, Java, API 24, hit finish. I want to play a song, guys. Okay, I want to play a song. Okay, let us learn media player in this session. Also, let us learn how background services work, right? The rest foreground and bound services you can explore later. As this media player is important and also background services are very much important, I'm covering these two topics. To play a music file, you can actually stream it online, or you can also download some MP3 file from internet. I'll go to google.com. I'll say not to song MP3. Okay. When we are playing some song, let us download our Indian song. So recently, Nato has got an Oscar, I think yesterday. Correct? So I'm just downloading it. 5.1 MB of file is there. So once the song is downloaded, you can simply copy it, come back to Android. You need to store all the music, video files into raw folder, into the raw folder of Android. Okay. So do we have raw folder now? We don't. So how do we create a raw folder? Right click on the resources, go to new, choose Android resource directory. What? What do we do? Right click on the resources, go to new, choose Android resource directory. Right click, go to new, choose Android resource directory. You have values here, you choose it to raw. Hit OK so that the raw folder is created. And your MP3 files, video files, everything can go inside raw folder. Right. So in the raw folder, you can actually paste it. Go to paste option. Okay. My song.mp3. Hit OK. Nice. Now my challenge is how I can play music. So for music, you can head to Media Player Library of Android. You get to see Media Player overview. I recommend you to going through this Media Player overview. Okay. So the basics, what are the basics? So if you want to stream data from online, you need to have internet connectivity. And if you want to use media player, you just have to create a new media player with the help with whatever the sound that you want to play or whatever the music that you want to play, and simply click on start. Okay. Oh, there are many other additional things written. So you can use a media player in the service, and this is what we are going to do now. Okay. Nice. Such a good documentation we have. I am actually copying this link and pasting it in the services notes itself. Services and media player. Can have the link here. So we need a media player library. We need not to add any dependencies as per the documentation. Media player. So that is my object. So first of all, you need to create the media player object. So media player is equal to media player dot create. Yeah, this is the correct one. So what are we supposed to pass? We are supposed to pass the context and also the data that you want to play. Let me see if I'm doing it right. Huh, I'm doing it right. So now you can give the URI. URI is that r dot raw dot mysong. So let us have two buttons, guys. One is play and the other one is stop. Right click, show baseline, set the baseline to the first button. Select both the things again, right click, go to chains and create a horizontal chain. Select the first button, let us call it play. Second button, I will call it stop. Select the first button, set the top constraint to the top, bottom constraint to the bottom. And in the split mode, what we will do is we'll define on-click event handlers for this on-click play music. You do create it on main activity, that is easy. For the second button also, you do the same. On-click, wow, on-click is equal to stop music. You can create it on this place. Nice. So when play music button is pressed, what will we do? We will write media player dot start. Okay. When you want to stop it, simple media player dot stop. Let us run the application and see if media player is working fine. So hit on play. So can you, as I hit on play, the song started playing, and as I hit on stop, the song stopped playing, isn't it? Did you listen to that? Did you listen to the song? Okay, maybe this noise cancellation is working absolutely well. But if I'm Tapping on play, the song started playing, and if I tapped on stop, the song stopped stopping. I mean, the song started, uh, the song is stopped. Okay. So let us keep this as a service. Let us put it into a service. As of now, it is into the main activity directly, but let us keep it into a service. So how do we keep it into a service? First, let's right click on this package, go to new, choose Java class. Let us call it music service. Extends to service class, not provider.service, it is simply service. Yeah, service. Android.app.service. Now, when you have a service, you are supposed to override a few methods by default. Okay. And onBind method is that only method that you need to implement for sure. However, this is for inter-process communication, and we know that. But this is the default method of any service. Please do keep it in mind. And as we know that we have on create in the service lifecycle, I'm overriding on create. And when the service is about to be destroyed, on destroy, we have when the service is about to be destroyed, we will get on destroy method. In a similar way, we also have on start method. You can choose it. That's fine, no problem. You can remove it, that is also fine. Okay. Now let's see. Now simply let us create a constructor, music service, an empty constructor. Here, what I would like to have is I'd like to have a media player. And in the onCreate method, what I'll do is I'll create one. So player is equal to media player dot create of uh, the context r dot raw dot my song. Now player dot star. This is what I'm going to do on the onCreate method. And in the onDestroy method, what I'll do, I'll write player dot stop. Just to make you understand how the service lifecycle works, I'm picking this example. You're done actually. Typically, you're done. There's a player. You are initializing it, starting it to play, and then you're stopping it in the onDestroy method. Right. So on main activity, you do not require this media player at all. On main activity, you don't need it at all. So when the play music button is pressed, just like you start your activity, just like you start your broadcast receiver, just like that, you can also choose to start your service. So starting a service is quite easy. It's quite easy. How? You create an intent object. Intent I is equal to new intent and define from where you want to start to where you want to reach. So this comma music service dot class. That is the place I want to reach. Simply you can start a service by calling start service method and pass this intent object I. Very simple. And for stopping the music also, you do the same. You copy the same intent. And instead of calling start service, you can call stop service. You're done. You can now aramse run the application and your song will keep playing even if you put your app in background. So the app is up and running. If you see, oh shit, it's not working. If that's the case, what I'll do is I'll have player.start remove here and I'll override on start method and put my player.start here. This will help. Because when the service is created, as it cannot play a song directly without user asking the song to be played, I'm putting it in the on start method. Okay. So this is not working, guys. This is not working. Even if I click on play, nothing is being played because the service is created, but it is not registered. It is not registered anywhere. That is why, as the system does not know there is a service, it is unable to start the intent action. So if you see the terminal, you might be getting a few updates if I tap on play button. Let's go to Locket. Okay. In the Locket, yeah, unknown bit set. What? So go to manifest file and register your service. Just like your activities and broadcast receivers that you register the music service also. Enabled, you can make it as true, and exported also, you can make it as true. For any service, you can put these enabled and exported values. Now you'll get your song played for you. Try to listen, guys. I don't know if this noise cancellation stops working. I'm clicking on play. Oh shit. What happened? Enabled instantaneous service. Void com.example.musicplayer.musicservice.init is not accessible from Java class. Void music service.init is not accessible from. Oh shit. So what's wrong? Let us try to fix it. So set looping does not have anything to do. I just forgot to write this statement. That's why I've written it. Okay, we'll do one thing. This is not public, right? So let us make this public constructor. We shall see now if this works or not. Because that is the error, no? Essentially, it is not able to reach out to the constructor. If I don't play, I get to see the music. Sorry, listen to the music. Even if I keep my app in the background, the song is still getting played. I can hit on stop and the song stopped playing. Hope you are able to listen to this. Otherwise, you can try this app yourself. Anyway, I'm pushing this code to GitHub. You can try this yourself, right? That brings us to the end of the session. Please go through the examples given, and for any reason you get a doubt, you please let me know. Batch 16, no, batch 15. Yeah, do we have it played? Yes, we have it. Yeah, I gave you a book, no? Go pick. One second, I'm checking it right away. Yeah, I did not get your mail. Can you share me your email ID, Sarfraj Khan? Okay. See, I did not get your email. Please send me your email to this email ID. Right? Thank you. So yeah, so the data is straight to GitHub, sorry, Bitbucket. You can visit this link here. Somebody asked me the Bitbucket link, so I'm sharing it with everyone in the meet. Right? Go here, and as one of you is asking me to full PDF, uh, you can use my ebook that is written by me for you guys. Right? You can use this one. Thanks. You can also download it in PDF if you want to. Feel free to do that. Thank you, guys. Hope the session is enjoyable. Tomorrow we'll meet with a new concept. Thank you. Take care. Bye.